What's up, guys? Peace. Jeremy back here with another video here. Welcome to Consciousness Awake, where we are exploring more of the multidimensional aspects of consciousness within itself, and how we can use consciousness in our astral projection experiences to evolve ourselves and learn more about the multiverse and the larger picture, and just improve our own self-awareness of the reality around us, even if it's not physical, even if it's non-physical is what I'm saying. In this video, I want to it's kind of a part two to the last video. In the last video I talked about a little technique I kind of tried and worked really well at converting a lucid dream into an out-of-body experience. And at the end of the video, I mentioned that I would make another video going into my out-of-body experience that I had from that just recently. So basically, at the beginning of the OBE, I felt my energy body arm going towards the window, towards the glass behind my recliner chair. And so I shifted my awareness and consciousness basically into that arm, that energy arm. And then within a second, whatever, 1 or 2 seconds, whatever it was, just found myself moving through that back window into my back porch. I've got this little, fenced in little backyard porch area. And of course, sometimes, as you know, when you go out of body and you go through mirrors, reflective surfaces, windows, stuff like that, sometimes you end up in a different place, to some other, simulation or virtual reality, or a place in the astral planes, or however you want to describe it. Sometimes it's just so random and you just end up in a place you just never would never think of or expect to go to. But in this case, I did just go through the glass, through the reflective surface, and was definitely in the what I call the real time zone etheric plane realm, where it's like a virtual copy of this physicality. It's almost like the etheric plane is just like an upper tier of a higher up aspect of physicality. But at the same time, it's at the bottom of the whole astral plane structure. So it's like it's right in between both of them. So in this one, on the back porch, I noticed the fence. I noticed the big tree that's behind the property. Everything's looking familiar. So I'm identifying that I'm in the etheric plane. So I went up and over my house, over the roof. I just levitated up and just moved towards the front, where there's a big, huge grassy lawn area. It's just an open area. And then across this lawn, there's these four huge pine trees. And so something I like doing is kind of like grounding just calming down and just grounding myself while out of body. And so if I'm staring at nature, like especially four big ass, pine trees, and as I was out of body at nighttime, so it was kind of dark, but I can see the trees very well, and just relaxing myself and trying to remember, like, what are some of my goals? What are some of my intentions when having these, either intentional or spontaneous out of body experiences? Like, what am I trying to achieve? What do I want to find out? And as I'm pondering that, and I kind of like, it's almost like a kind of just a relaxed meditative state, but while out of body, by fixating my concentration on an object in front of me, the trees. And then what dawned on me in that moment is that how I've had all these different experiences over the years while out of body, and I've never taken the time, truly taken the time, to ask the question of like, what created our consciousness? Like, what created our soul? What created our energy? What's that source? Because to me, at this time in my life, I just kind of see source as something that either initiated or helped to produce what we know as our as our soul, energy, consciousness, and it made bad and good consciousness. You know what I mean? It's sourced out the goods and the bads, right? It's not that source is all good or anything. But still, but it like that's just what I feel like, that our consciousness soul came from some kind of source, right? So it's just something that I was pondering, and I've obviously thought about for many years. So I loudly demanded, like while out of body, and so I shifted my awareness from the trees, and I kind of was looking more up into the sky, basically, right? Why, I don't know, but that's just kind of what I did. and and I demanded, I want to know what or who created our consciousness and our souls. What is this source? Is it source that did this? And if it is source, how does that work? And why did it start? And what is the ultimate benefit to some kind of creator being or source entity to help produce all of these souls and this energy, right? And so nothing happened. I did it like, loud and clear, and looked up kind of at the sky and kind of demanded what I wanted to know, right? And there was nothing shifting, changing around me. No beings, nothing. It was pretty quiet. And then I decided to do it again, and with some conviction, I firmly stated, I demand to know who or what source is, and if source is the one that created our soul energy, our consciousness. And then what I see is, of course, it's nighttime while I'm out of body, so it's darker outside. And then what I see is this. This is the best way I can describe it. And I've had a few days here since I've had this experience to kind of think about it. The best way I can describe this is that I'm looking at the sky, and then like half of the sky, right down the middle. So let's say you're looking out towards the horizon, and so one half of the sky, it basically changes 90 degrees. So it goes from this to this, okay? Right? Full 90-degree shift. So half the sky shifts 90 degrees downward as it's cascading down, It took a few seconds. And then as that happened, there was, how would I describe it? It almost looked like it just turned to daytime. It's almost like the sun just came up over a mountain ridge or something, or, right? Or it just rose up into the sky, and just everything just got bright and sunny. But it was coming through that 90-degree shift in the sky, and then coming through, and then reflecting off of the other parts of the sky on the opposite side. And the light was very golden, whitish, goldish, in around there. I couldn't see anything through all of that brightness and that light. It was just so bright and intense. I actually remember being in that out of body and seeing that all that light come through, and instinctively I'm looking for my sunglasses. I'm looking I'm touching my energy body, and I'm looking for sunglasses to put on just so that I can, not get overwhelmed by it. So, yeah. So, and that's kind of the OBE experience I had recently. It was nothing more, insane than that, nothing longer than that. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I'm a very logical minded person, and I question. I have a lot of discernment with many things, and so I have a question to you guys checking out this video about this recent OBE I had. My question to you is it possible that that whole scene and the sky shifting 90 degrees and, the light and all that stuff, is it possible that's just more of a personal manifestation of just my own consciousness, you know? Or is it something that really happened in the etheric plane and another dimension opened up, right? Into the plane that I was consciously aware in.